Hi and welcome to the Art of Tarot. This is a reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for March 2022. Thank you for being here. I will talk about general energies and love and relationships. I will also pull some charms by the end of the reading, so that's additionally to the cards that are already out. I have a German channel as well. That's why the cards are already laid out here, and you can follow that German channel if you're interested in German readings and German content. So you find all the information in the description box below. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. We will talk a little bit about the astrology. I just want to mention the full moons because in your case it's really coming through strongly, the Virgo full moon. The Virgo full moon is happening on the 18th of March, and it's about routines and it's about discipline. So I think especially with external influences, maybe also relationships, there is a lot of focus on maybe changing of routines, also really disciplining yourself, and also a person on the outside could be in a moment of disciplining themselves and finding a better way, a better method of focusing on their work, focusing on working on themselves, also to really accomplish some sort of sense of independence and self-control. Because I think this is what's happening here with a person from the outside when we look at your external influences here with the 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, that there is a person really working on their self-worth, but they are not quite there yet. They are not quite where they want to be, maybe to come forward, or you know that this person is stepping into their potential, but they are not fully there, and they are also not where you want to see a partner or where you want to see a person that you're with. So this is, I think, here a bigger topic, because with the Lovers card in reverse there is some hesitancy when it comes to a love relationship situation, or even a project, job for you, that you feel like this doesn't feel right just yet. You know, the Lovers card in reverse for me is a card of not being able to let yourself fall in love with the person or fall in love with the thing, questioning also if this is the right opposite for you, so the right, you know, partner, the right thing, the right job, the right project, the right passion, and really asking your higher self, questioning your consciousness here also, or going into a higher consciousness and asking, is this the right thing for me? So it seems like there is still some hesitancy here, but at the same time, in this month there is a lot of movement. The key card is the 8 of Wands, so I think there's a lot of movement, a lot of passion, a lot of movement forward, maybe a lot of things happening at the same time. Maybe you're very busy, maybe you're busy with work, because this 8 of Pentacles also came out as kind of a neutral card, not necessarily only for the external influences, but maybe also for you. You're coming, I think, out of a space, when we break this down here, with the past couple of weeks. This is represented by the recent past here, the 3 of Wands. I think you're coming into this month with a vision, with a plan, and this month you might draw things in that you want to look at if they are fitting to what you've envisioned for yourself. That's really how it feels like, because we have this 3 of Wands and the 2 of Wands here in your recent future. So it's like this back and forth a little bit this month, testing out where you want to go with people surrounding you, how you want to interact with people surrounding you, and it might feel a little bit like a step back or like a replanning or rerouting month, where it's like, oh, okay, this doesn't work. This gives me a feeling of anxiety, maybe being left out. Talking to people like that makes things complicated, or not drawing boundaries in a very consequent manner is making things complicated and kind of I have to take a step back and redo this. This is how it feels like. So I think it's very much about your social life, about how you interact with people, and it could also very well, of course, be about your love life. But I don't see just love life. I feel like there is more people involved here, and it's a general thing, and the big general thing is, how do I set boundaries? How do I set boundaries with people? How do I stand up for myself? How do I fight for myself, fight for my opinions? How do I defend also when things come towards me, you know? I think there is a little bit of a challenge here, and you're figuring it out this month. I think it's a little bit of a trial and error. At the same time, you have this super stable foundation here with in your deeper consciousness, in your also subconscious, with the Queen of Pentacles. So you're very stable, you're very grounded, you know your worth, you know your qualifications, you know what you have to give, you also know how to keep your worth, how to nurture your resources, your worth, your health, your wealth. This is all the Queen of Pentacles, also the body. So you should have a really stable foundation to go into this trial and error kind of interacting and setting boundaries with certain people. And not everybody is the same. Also, I feel like this is also a couple of different people, you know, where it's like not everybody is the same, so people will react differently. And you also understand that this stability, the subconscious stability gives you the permission also to aim higher emotionally here with the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups really says, okay, we have established this emotional situation here where we put a lot of also involvement in, maybe we're also attached to a certain emotional state, and therefore it's kind of hard to get out of it and to move on, because we know there is better. But the Eight of Cups is not necessarily super uncomfortable. It's just, you understand that it's just dragging you down if you stay there. So you kind of have to step out of it. So it's with the Eight of Cups, we feel maybe a little too attached to something. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily toxic, although in the Crowley deck it's a pretty intense card that really feels a little like it's dragging you down into some depths of emotion that just feel exhausting and draining, you know. So stepping out of that is totally possible, I think, and even though it might feel like a step back, it's actually emotionally a step forward. That's what I see, because with the Three of Wands to the Two of Wands, it might seem like, oh, I've been thrown back a little bit, but emotionally this is, I think, an improvement. So even if it's maybe not so much what you envisioned or what you wanted, it will help you grow and do something even better. With the Five of Swords here in your higher consciousness, it might have to do with you really having to be more strict, more firm with people, or more direct, and you have to be careful here with the Seven of Wands and the Five of Pentacles that this is not just overreaction. The Five of Swords can often be offense is the best defense kind of situation, you know, where you go for something before even, you know, somebody is coming for you. So you might already sense some kind of threat and therefore nip it in the bud. And that might be hurtful or perceived as bullish or just a little provocative. So make sure you're not doing this out of a feeling of, because I mean, that's just a natural reaction, you know, we maybe lose a little bit of a grip of setting boundaries, and therefore we overreact and over communicate and overdo and over attack. I don't want to say attack, but over maybe we're a little bit too direct or too intense. So yeah, just something to think about, just something to maybe, you know, give it a thought if that's something that you're doing with the people surrounding you. I think how you see yourself in this with the Ace of Cups in reverse is, okay, difficulty maybe to, not difficulty that you are having a difficulty, but more of like, okay, you have this love, you know, you have something to give, but you don't want to have things surrounding you being draining, emotionally draining, because there is this sense of maybe being drained a little bit emotionally also with the Eight of Cups, and you don't want to invest your love and your emotional nurturing into the wrong people, or you don't want to give to, you don't want to overgive, you don't want to give to the wrong people. Maybe you have a feeling you overgave in the past emotionally, and now you're kind of holding back a little bit. With this Eight of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles in reverse from the external, I really think it has to do with the Ace of Cups also being like, okay, I cannot invest in people who are having a difficulty investing in themselves or understanding their self-worth, because it's just a bottomless pit, you know, it's like just gonna fall through. And I think Cancer has a lifelong lesson with that, because Cancer can be so over nurturing, and that's not always a bad thing, but sometimes, you know, it's sometimes people there is no bottom, there is no, people cannot hold that, and you're just feeling drained. So try not to do that. I think you're not doing that. I think that's what you're already doing. You're very cautious here, which is a good thing. The fears and hopes is the Moon card. So fears and hopes with the Moon card, there is a fear maybe of the fear, a fear of the fear with the Moon, and fear of the hidden, fear of the unknown, fear of the mystery, fear of the unconscious. So maybe there's a little nooks in your consciousness or subconscious or unconscious that are coming to the surface, and that's kind of scary, you know, maybe parts of yourself that you haven't seen yet or you haven't explored yet, and the way is not clear. There might be a sense of fear that it's not clear how to move forward, and therefore it's scary, you know, because you don't know where you're going really. I'm hearing this song from Gangstar, this rap song. It's a hard way, or it's a long way to go if you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going when you're lost. That's what I'm hearing. So just know that also what I hear is all that wander are not lost. So it's not necessarily directionless. It's just the direction is always there within you. You will move forward much faster than you think. You know, there's a lot of fast movement forward this month, and I think you have a lot of people surrounding you that help you. I pulled this from my postcard deck that I intuitively read. So there's a lot of people surrounding you that are protective. This is maybe your tribe, your family. It seems a lot like family, your herd, you know. So even though if the surroundings and the environment is dry, there is, first of all, beautiful blue sky. Second, there is always people looking out for you also. And there is a sense of calmness but alertness at the same time. And I think this is something that a group of people can give you right now, a familiar group of people. So if there is not much nurturing around, there is always some sort of comfort and a sense of comfort in a familiar group of people. Okay, so we also have for relationships, we have the thoughtfulness card, but I want to draw another one. So thoughtfulness. It's time to put your money where your mouth is and have fun showing your love. Think of all the little things that you can do to show a person you love them. Then stop thinking those things and actually do them. It is time to hide a note. Is it time to hide a note in someone's pocket? Make them a snack, order them a book. Anything thoughtful can be an act of love. Even taking the trash out to the dumpsters. Unless you're dating the trash, in which case don't take it to the dumpsters, take it somewhere fancy. Wow, who would have thought that being so full of thoughts could be considered thoughtful? Okay, I'm gonna pull another one just because it feels right. Levity. Laughter is the best legal medicine, and it looks like it's time for you to take a sweet, sweet hit of it. When someone annoys you or a plan goes awry, and this is an indication of those kind of things, try finding something funny in there. And if you ever feel like the butt of the joke, remember that the only difference between someone laughing at you and someone laughing with you is that in the first version you're not laughing. It's a good one. You always have the option, so opt to lighten up. It's legal in almost 200 countries. Okay, I don't know what that means. I guess there is countries who are not allowed to have laughter, which is sick. Not in a good way, in a bad way. Okay, I did throw the dice already. I wanna do it again, but I still wanna mention also what came out in the German reading. We have Saturn, 6th house, and Capricorn. So there's a lot of focus on work and routine, and also testing, overcoming obstacles here with Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn, so they kind of go together. 6th house is the house of Virgo, where we have this full moon this month, and also about routines. So yes, really focus and go the distance when it comes to your routines. Okay, this is an Aries. Yes, what do you want? How can you get it in relationships? I think very much so. 7th house fell also on the external influences, so this is relationships, partnerships. There could be sudden movement, fast, sudden things happening, maybe out of the blue, surprising here with Uranus and the 8 of Wands. We have Aries, so really think clearly about what do I want and how do I get it. I think this is what you're doing here, planning out what do you want and what do you want to get. There is potential, I think, for a relationship with a person, but yes, they have to step into their full potential. Don't settle, is what I hear. Don't settle. Also, 8 of Cups is very much don't settle, because you're there, you know, you're like very much there. Charms. Be smart is what I hear. Be smart, work hard at the same time, or work smarter, not harder. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Wow, I love that. Work smarter, not harder. Especially when it comes to relationships and when it comes to that person. The Fox for me is like a smart charm. Be clever, be smart, plan your things out, have a strategy. And this is like a Japanese hammer kind of thing that I got from my dad actually when he took a trip to Japan. So this is my charm for having fun while you work. So make it fun, make the relationship work fun, or make the dating work fun, you know, and also kind of project that maybe a little bit, or bring that out in the interaction, so this person also can see the fun in working on themselves, because that can be fun, you know, it doesn't always have to be hard, and work can be a lot of fun. There is a third eye moment here, in the moment of enlightenment and realization, I think, when it comes to being attached to a certain, I want to say, habit of victimizing yourself. I know this is a tough one, I'm sorry. But it came out so clear, I needed to go with it. I think you're detaching from that, because this is my codependency charm, where you're dependent on maybe a certain role or substance, or whatever it is. So it's a little bit maybe even addictive to be in that role, because it gives you victimizing ourselves can give us power. When we victimize ourselves, being victimized takes power from us, but when we victimize ourselves, we still control the narrative. So the thing is, do you want to control the narrative? Can you control the narrative, or do you want to have a say in the narrative? So I think it's a middle way kind of thing. But I think there's a really big moment where you are like, wow, okay, how do I get into this position when it's about boundaries and then not feeling my self-worth? Such a crystal clear reading. Wow, I love this. And there's a big epiphany here with this amethyst and a big realization, and I think it's a very spiritual moment also, that oh, this is how I'm going to move forward. This is how I'm going to move into a happier place, into a better position, and position myself a little smarter, more clever. And it doesn't have to be hard, it can be fun to do that work. So yeah, Cancer, this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, subscribe, comment, come back next time, and yeah, have a great March. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.